Hello, sisters. Happy summer solstice. I'm coming to y'all today to talk about Hoponopono. I sent that in the last email I sent to y'all, and I told y'all I would talk more about it. First, I would like to say thank you to all of the teachers who's been holding it down. My life has been kind of busy lately, and I've had a lot, especially this week, going on. So I just thank y'all for really holding it down, interacting, working with everybody. So we wind it down, y'all. We about to start on the last two chakras, the two upper chakras. And that's why I also wanted to talk about Hoponopono before we actually started that third eye chakra, because that chakra is about clarity, seeing past illusions, seeing things for what they really are. That's why it's kind of always associated with psychic abilities and things like that. But my girl Nola will get more into it because she's just awesome. Love you, Nola. But so I'm just out here today. I'm not doing anything special for the solstice. I got my sunstone and I'm about to do me some henna. But that's all I'm about to really do and cook. It's kind of hot out here. But anyway, let me get to the point. So, Hoponopono, I learned about this when I went and had the Reiki session, and I know probably in my first or second video, I kind of told y'all about Reiki and my experience and all of that. So before the session, the Reiki master, she was really awesome. And I guess she kind of made me think about things before the session actually started, and maybe that's why I was so emotional. But she asked me, she said, have you ever heard of Hoponopono? And I was like, no, So she wrote the word down for me. She said, when you get home, I want you to look at it. And she kind of broke it down to me. Hoponopono is it's an ancient Hawaiian practice. It's kind of like a mantra. You could consider it a mantra. And the premise of it is it opens your heart to forgiveness, but it also opens your heart to maybe areas you need to be forgiven as well. Being accountable for the pain we inflict on others, whether it's intentional or non-intentional. And the 4 parts of it is I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. And if you want to incorporate this practice, I suggest maybe for the 7 days, because that's how she told me to do it. For 7 days, you chant this mantra. You do it in the morning and you do it in the evening, and you say it until you feel that you want to stop. It's not like you say it one time and you go about your day. You say it, because I realized in saying it, because when you say it, you kind of really reflect on situations where maybe you were wrong. Let's be real here. We are human, and we are not always right in all of the things that we do. And so in saying that mantra, you let it come to mind some instances that you were wrong. And it is very, very powerful. I love mantras. I was a person who didn't believe in mantras at one time or another. And I love them now because they are so powerful, and they really get you to the core, hit you to the core. I'm sorry, some of them. And that's kind of how Hoponopono is. So she explained it to me what it was and why it was done, and Hoponopono is like to make it right. Because maybe we've done something to somebody and maybe they're not here anymore to say, y'all, I have a dragonfly, it landed on my phone. They're not here for us to apologize. Maybe the damage in that bridge is just so bad, like the bridge is damaged and broken, unable to be crossed again, no water passing underneath that bridge, that you just don't fool with a person anymore. But saying that kind of puts that forgiveness, that request of forgiveness, I guess, out there in the universe. So even if this person doesn't necessarily forgive you, because we forgive in our own time, we can't be forced to forgive people who have wronged us. it helps to ease the guilt and the shame that we kind of talked about in those lower chakras. Because I mean, I'm guilty of it. I say I'm still a work in progress, but I'm a pretty changed person because I used to be the type where I'm not gonna let nobody hurt me. I will hurt you before you think you're gonna hurt me. Yes, this is my mindset. And so, yeah, I'm sure I've done things to people that I'm really not proud of. I don't mean no psychotic stuff, no, y'all. Like, I ain't burning down houses and sending people to jail. But, you know, words are a powerful thing. And, like, if you follow me on any of my social medias, I speak of that quite often because, like, I actively practice the law of attraction, you know. And so you have to be careful with the words you use and the thoughts that you keep. But as far as the words you use, I mean, your tongue could either bring life or it could bring death, like a sword. You could cut people with the words that you say. And yeah, I mean, I'm 30 plus years. So of course, over the course of all of these years, I've done things. And so when I started this, when I did it the first day, I'm like, okay, you know. And at the time, I was also doing guided meditations. I don't necessarily do guided that much anymore. Okay, y'all, my video cut off because I had to clear some memory. But I was saying, so I do binaural beats now because, I don't know, that's a whole nother story. I'm not even about to get into that because I was keeping it short. But, so I was doing guided meditations, and the guided meditations were like with forgiveness and things like that, because that time in my life, for me, it was a very traumatic experience that happened. And I knew in the moment when it happened that I could not wallow in my pain and my anger, that forgiveness was something that had to be, I had to forgive. I had to forgive as much as I didn't want to forgive, as much as I wanted to be mean and just think horrible thoughts about what I wanted to do. I knew forgiveness is what would help me move on. It had nothing to do with the other person. We forgive for us, not for them. We don't care, you know, what they think. Well, you shouldn't anyway. You forgive to give yourself a peace of mind so that you can move forward. Because as long as you don't forgive, like, you hold on to that. And it's like, you say, like, holding on to things and not forgiveness, like swallowing the poison and waiting for the other person to die. When people hurt us, sometimes they just go on about life. They don't care that we're hurting. We're at home crying. We are just, you know, in this place of darkness is what I like to call it. Because not like to call it, but what I call it, because that's basically where, you know, pain sends you, to a place of darkness. So I was doing the guided meditations with the forgiveness around when I went to see her, and that was those were very difficult. They were very emotional. I would be in meditation sometimes, be like, no, I'm just gonna deal with this tomorrow because I don't feel like focusing on the thought I haven't forgiven this particular person. So when I learned about Hoponopono, I incorporated it into my guided meditations. And that week, it was very emotional. It was, I cried a lot. And, you know, it's funny how spirit works, because that same week, one of my girls, we don't talk all the time. Like, I mean, it could be months before we talk. I don't think I have seen her since, like, the beginning of last year. But she's one of those people who, like, when I see her or she sees me, it's like we never missed a beat, you know. She called me out the blue, and, you know, I just kind of had told her what had went on, and she said, well, you know, she told me that basically the same thing I just told y'all about forgiveness, but she said, well, what part did you play in the situation? And I'm like, and we all probably like that, like, bitch, I didn't do anything. It's not me, it's, you know. Sorry for those who don't curse. I still got a little dirty mouth. I'm working on that, but I'm like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm forgive. Why they need to forgive me? No, they better hope I forgive them. That's my frame of mind I was in. And so she was like, Shonda, you know, you can't be like that or whatever. So after I hung up with her, and along with doing the Hoponopono and doing the guided meditations, I really like took in what she was saying. And I realized that whenever I did say Hoponopono, yeah, take it out. You can take it out. That in me saying, I'm sorry, and I was stopping, I'm sorry. And I would think about the people who I kind of, you know, may have crossed in the past, or we just maybe ended on bad terms, and the part that I played in. So I wouldn't just say it. I would say it, and I would sit in each part of that mantra. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry if maybe if I wasn't a great friend all the time. I'm sorry if maybe I canceled on something that was important to you. I'm sorry if I ever said words that may have hurt your feelings. And I really just started reflecting on years of just going back, you know. Please forgive me. And when I said that, you know, I thought about it as if I was like actually with this person saying, please forgive me. And thinking, okay, you may not forgive me, but I'm asking for your forgiveness. Then you say thank you, as if they said, yes, I forgive you. And if they don't forgive, if they haven't forgiven you, y'all, forgiving you, I'm so tongue-tied today. Okay, I mean, but you doing this for you, you know, I guess is my point. So thank you. Thank you for at least listening to me. Thank you for at least being present that I could say I'm sorry, or just thank you if you actually come face to face with a person who you may have hurt, whether intentional or not, because we hurt people unintentionally often, and you actually ask for that forgiveness. And it was actually a couple of people who I actually went to ask for forgiveness. And after you say thank you, I love you, letting the person know, you know, in me asking for forgiveness, it is because in some way, shape, or form, I do love you. And, you know, and it's also as a part of that thank you for, you know, accepting my apology. Hoponopono is very powerful when you incorporate it into your life. And it's also not necessarily something you do when the moments are bad. So I'm going to say this. I'm not all religious or anything because of my past experiences with dealing with the church and church folk. So if you are those type of people, I do apologize. No offense to you. I'm talking about my personal experience. But I do have a relationship with God. As part of spirituality to me, your spirituality is your relationship with God, the Creator, Most High, whatever terms you use. But it's hot out here, so I'm about to be even quicker. But like I was saying, I'm not religious, but I believe in God, so I do pray. And the thing is, like with prayer, or however you want to define what it is you do when you talk to God, you don't just pray when things are bad. You do it when it's good. You say thank you and, you know, give praise when things are great as well, you know. And so Hoponopono is basically the same thing. You don't just have to say it when I need somebody to forgive me, or I'm feeling like shit right now because I may have hurt somebody's feelings. You know, if you try to incorporate it all the time, and I do, I don't say it every single day, but I do it a couple of days a week now. So y'all just look into it. It's very interesting. It's a continuous part of healing, especially if you're still working on those lower chakras. You know, sometimes we go through things and we're thinking, okay, we done did the work. And then you realize you have to go deeper. I have to go deeper. I have to go deeper. It's like that for me anyway. You know, I think that, okay, I've dealt with this, and then I realize I have to go deeper. That's why I say I'm a work in progress. So that's all I really wanted to say about Hoponopono. We're moving into the next two chakras, like I said, and we're going into the third eye. And the third eye is evidently the most popular. Of course, you hear it in rap songs, you hear it in poetry, you hear keep your third eye open. And I mean, from all of these different places and areas and talks about third eye, it has a good and a bad rap to it. And the bad rap to it is very ignorant. I think it's ignorant to speak on things we know nothing about with no research or, you know, and being completely biased about things. But third eye is very powerful. And when you have your third eye open, and I think that when people say that they, I don't know, they have this visual of what it's supposed to be, but it is so much deeper on a spiritual level when your third eye is open. And so it's important in saying, when I'm saying that, is to like really kind of get yourself together and get yourself right, as far as that goes, when you're starting to work on that chakra. Because like I said again, it's about clarity. And if you are still in your root chakra and say you don't necessarily have clarity about what stability means for you or security means for you, then you won't necessarily have the clarity you need when you get to your third eye to see things how they are supposed to be, you know. And that goes with every chakra. So that's why it's important to work on those blocks, especially with those lower 3 before you move into those 4. Now, does that mean don't work on them at all? No, it does not. You still work on it. You learn about this third eye. Actually, learning about the third eye kind of may wake your mind up a little bit to how I can even better resolve those blockages lower. So that's interesting. In the crown chakra, I really like as well, but I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm saving it for Nola. But I just wanted to say that about the third eye because it's the most popular, and it might have some misconceptions around it. And I think that when we do hear Nola, you're going to see that a lot of what you may have thought it to be is not necessarily what it was, and it's going to be very interesting. So ladies, I'm about to go. I've had to cut this video 3 times, so I'm going to edit it real quick for y'all and then share it. If y'all want to discuss Hoponopono, drop your questions below or comments or whatever, and we'll talk about it. And until then, I love you all. I thank y'all for being a part of this class. Y'all are also a part of my continuous healing, and for that, I'm grateful. I am. So I appreciate y'all. Oh, I'm sending y'all stuff off tomorrow. My car is broken. I'm just going to go ahead and be honest. So I'm kind of at the mercy of other people right now as far as getting to the post office. So tomorrow, I'm going to have me some wheels and I'll be mailing y'all stuff off. I kind of wanted to wait to the end of the class anyway so that I could mail a certificate of completion. It's really cute, along with all y'all other stuff. So if I mail it tomorrow, I think Tuesday at the latest, y'all should get it. So talk to y'all soon in group. I'm out.